Waka waka waka, what's up and welcome to the channel, the first or third whenever I upload these things. This is definitely one of my first reviews on the channel, so we are going to kick it off today with the SW-01 Shock Warrior, which is an oversized knockoff of the SS82 Ratchet from as seen in the 2018 movie Bumblebee. So let's get right down and take a look at him. I did do an unboxing video. I will put a link to the description down below. It may or may not be on another channel. It was kind of the test bed for this channel, so either way you can go take a look at that. But since that may or may not be on the channel, we'll do a quick run around of the box. Let's get Mr. Ratchet off the table here for a second. And as you can see, pretty much Shock Warrior all over the box. Product shot, Shock Warrior, all that good stuff. And that is the packaging. Actually pretty neat. And there is our Shock Warrior, aka Ratchet. Quick disclaimer at first, since a lot of these reviews are going to be with figures that I either have had for a while or I just was too impatient, he does not come with the Autobot insignia. I got that from a Facebooker named Endong. Feel free to, maybe one day I'll get his information and see if he wants me to post it up here. But that is right, he is my my go-to guy for the labels for my faction stickers. So a huge shout out to Endong for getting that to me. And without further ado, let's dive into the figure. Excuse my vocabulary getting my feet wet with all this YouTubing. Beautiful face sculpt. Got the nice detailing in the lines. Real quick, back of the head is clear, which means he's got light pipes in the eyes. Not got a flashlight to get those showing, but either way, chest appears to be mostly painted. In fact, it looks like he has a couple different shades of white. You can see kind of up here he's got a more bright white and a little bit of a cream on the lower leg, so it varies throughout this spot. He does have details, additional details on the chest in that nice transparent blue, so he's got some additional detailing right there. And then of course detailing at the top. I do not have the SS82. I'm only going off videos I've seen, so I do apologize for that. But you can just see they've added some they have the nice silver paint on the legs. Nice silver paint for the hands. I do have some scuffing on my wrist, just from transformations. I'm not the most finesse-oriented transformation person in the world. Looks like he's got paint on the outer joints of the elbows, and the back, of course, cleans up very nicely. Few additions, again, a few more additions over the Studio Series. He does have flaps that close up over the hands versus the original Studio Series, which I believe just has the opening, and you saw it previously on the thighs. He does have that. All those have been closed up. These are spring loaded. They are a pain in the butt during transformation, but I can appreciate them for what they are. Real quick, before we get down to articulation, I've seen a few figures on this guy, a few videos on this guy, figures. And I unfortunately have an issue with mine. Mine likes to come apart at the waist right here. The chest just pops off. You can actually see it in the unboxing video. His chest just randomly pops off, no effort, and unfortunately it's only gotten easier. It does pop right back in, and it'll hold itself pretty nice. And I haven't decided what I'm going to do, since this thing is pretty much just going to sit on my shelf. For the most part, I'll change poses, but beyond that, so still undecided with what I'm going to do in that regard. So I do want to report that you will see me fighting it a bit during the transformation, just the nature of the beast. In fact, that probably makes this transformation 3 times as annoying as it needs to be. So that being said, let's get down to some quick articulation. Head rotates 360. He can see everything. A little bit back, a little bit forward. the arm. The camera situated here. The arm. Oh, you gotta hold that into place. Goes back about that far. And back about that far. Comes out almost all the way. Elbow gets you 90. And swivel. Wrist swivels all the way around. No articulation in the fingers, which is okay. It's kind of trying to get the masterpiece height without a lot of the masterpiece additions in articulation. Waist swivel. This small piece hits right here. So unfortunately that is really it before mine starts to disassemble itself. Let's see, you can see it kind of climb. You can see it kind of climbing on, starting to disassemble itself. Next up, moving on to the legs. Oh, stay in one piece, please. Nice kick out to the side for the full spread if you wanted to. And forward. It was a nice fusion kick. Backward. Down. And knee gets you just, we'll call it a little above 90. Feet. The feet are die cast. They are a painted white die cast. You can see a little bit of contrast there between the paint on the feet and on the lower legs, as is typical with the most of the whites on this figure. And he gets you a slight toe tilt down. Nothing really back up. And ankle tilt to the side, inward. That's it. And that is it. And if we want to get down to accessories, he does come with only one. It is his rifle, his oddly huge rifle, considering he's a doctor. It is cast in flat black plastic. Let's shed some light on the subject real quick. There you go. You can see that a little bit better. And cool thing about the gun, it does light up. I'm going to shoot at my hand so you can kind of see it. To get it to light up, there's this pushes in, push it, and you can see it shines this night blue. I'm not going to flash it at the camera. Oh, shooting you. And to turn it off, it'll stay on until you turn it off. Just push it again to turn off, just like a little flashlight. Batteries are included, but if you wanted to, I don't know what it takes, but you just have to unscrew that, and I'm sure you could pick them up at Amazon, Focus Camera, or at your local store. And fits into the hand just like so. And he can hold it up just fine for those days when you get those unruly patients at the office. Don't want to hold the gun? That's okay. He can look threatening enough. He's got this little peg here on the side, and you could just fit that right into this peg on the back. And, oh, and there we go. That was just what I was talking about. That's not what I wanted to happen. And that stays on his back just fine. And, yeah, it won't fall out either. And for a couple quick comparisons, I don't have too many Studio Series figures or too many mainline figures, period. But here he is next to one of the figures that I do have, the SS82 Hot Rod. You can kind of see how much they scaled up from the general Chug figure there. Here he is next to his G1 counterpart, Masterpiece Ratchet. See, they're both roughly the same size, give or take. And then, of course, let's get him next to the very magnificent MM-01 Optimus Prime, so you can see how that works out. And yeah, not too bad a scale there. Ultimately, I think ideally I'd like to have Ratchet a bit taller, but for what this is doing and considering that we don't really have a choice at the moment, I think this works absolutely perfectly. So we can see how that works out. So now let's get down to transforming this guy. So real quick, we're going to try and go a bit nicer. This is my first time doing it in front of a camera. Wow. So we're going to give this as best of a go we can. Open up these panels right here. Just open right up and rotate the wrist aside. Doesn't really matter what way the wrist is. There's plenty of room in there. And we'll show it more on the other side. Having a bit of an issue. Yeah, just plenty of room. Close that up. And just leave these down to the sides. Like so. Next up, what we want to do. Want to come around. And first off, just so we don't forget, push these all the way forward. Really a lot like this. If you got the Studio Series, it's mostly the same thing except for the wrist panels and these back panels here. Rotate these all the way around. You notice they kind of click in right behind this faux wheel right there. These like to pop up. That does get a bit annoying. Sorry. And rotate the feet into the back of the body. They'll thump into place. Same thing with the other leg. Nice click into place and put the feet rotated. Now what we want to do is rotate the leg all the way around. And you can see that way starting to disassemble itself. I did say this is kind of going to be the pain in the butt of the transformation, trying to deal with these and the waist right there. So unfortunately, that is the nature of the beast. And now we're just going to put the legs together. Now what we can do is break apart these back panels, and we're just going to kind of explode him here. Try and keep him in one piece. Pull this back panel over his head. And all of this, oh, there we go. It's got to come all the way over his head. All this is on a bunch of double joints. And again, so you can see nice exploded. These can fold up like that. Make sure this is straight and rotate this assembly all the way around. So he's sitting somewhat like that. And we want to get him into get his knees down, facing downwards. And then what we're going to do, you'll see these two tabs right here. They're going to go into these. There's a tab on each ankle. We're just going to bring this whole assembly down and lock it into place. And we can flip that over, cover his head. Close this panel up. You'll notice got a tab that goes right into that hole right there. And let's close these up. Now, one thing to be mindful of, because this is a bit of a pain in the butt for me the first time. This tab right here has to go right into the lower slot right there. So bring that in. It's a bit of a pain in the butt. It's best to leave these panels out for the time. And there you go. Kind of a bit of moving panels past stuff. Oh. Of course it's and there we go. Now what we want to do, these tabs right here in the forearms will go into here. And now, lastly but not leastly, pull these front wheels down. And what you want to do is you'll close up this side panel here. You notice you got a slot right here. And this tab right here, this tab's going to go there. This slot is going to go into this tab right here on the wheel. It's a little dinky little thing. Kind of hard to see. There it is. So it's all white. And same thing for the other side. Rotate the wheel down. And mine do not like to lock in as well. I'm not sure if it's something I don't have lined up here, but that is as good as that gets. So there you have the SW-01 Shock Warrior in vehicle mode. He is a Cybertronian thing. Again, these panels can't quite seem to get lined up, unfortunately. Not sure what I'm doing wrong there. But we're just gonna move on from that. Rolls just fine, nice and easy. Pretty cool. You can get a look all around. You can see some nice additional coloring. Some of this from the Studio Series, nice silver paint on the rear. Kind of looks like the metal, the diamond metal. Comes around to the back side, more coloring. That nice transparent blue windshield at the front. Nice red coloring at the top. And you can see his head at the bottom, but for the most part, hides away the robot well enough at the bottom. Not too worried about that. As for his gun can be stored right on top in lieu of a siren, of course. I mean, he is hopefully still an ambulance on Cybertron, so he can, he'll make your day if you don't pull over for him. So there you have that. So again, that is SS82 KO SW-01 Shock Warrior in vehicle mode. So let's sum it up on the SW-01 Shock Warrior Oversize SS82 knockoff. So it's exactly what it says it is. It's a knockoff of a Studio Series Circuit that just so happens to scale well with Masterpiece. And to that regard, we don't really have any options for a lot of the Autobots from that first 20-minute scene of the Bumblebee movie until now. So in that regard, definitely a pretty cool figure. Unfortunately, I think I got the short end of the stick from the quality front with that disassembling upper half. But here's the plus side. I got this figure off ShowZ. He's only $40. Now I did look up the SS82 on Big Bad Toy Store, and that is $25. So $15 extra. You're getting a whole lot more, more detail, bigger size, a little bit extra apps, and kind of a bit more of a premium feel. So that, in my opinion, is a big win. And honestly, if the waste that magically disassembles itself frustrates me enough, I may just go out and grab another one. So I can't really fault this thing too much just because of how cheap it is to buy. And another pro side for ShowZ, excuse me, they ship this thing here super fast. I think I got this within 2 weeks. Not sure if that's because of how small it was or whatever. So either way, I'm going to give this figure a recommend from me. I personally like it. It's going to have a spot on my shelf right next to my MM01. Super happy with the purchase, and yeah. So if you like this review, if you want to see more reviews, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon, call the Navy, give me a shout out in the comments, tell me how I can do better, because I guarantee you I am definitely not perfect, and we will see you next time. This is FC Finch, out.